Hook went home. He's sick. Said is out. Okay. You're going to have Femi, Bryce, and Olive will be back out there at practice. And then obviously we put the 3 guys on IR that you've been noticed. So a lot of numbers, a lot of names, moving, shuffling the deck late in the season. With that, I'll open it up to questions.
Anything up with the Restrepo?
What's that?
Restrepo?
He'll be back at practice today.
How about Dan? Is he still working through something?
What's that?
Dan Moore, is he still working through it?
He'll be at practice today too.
Now we have catch up.
What's
I got a roster update. There we go. That's a lot of bodies moving around.
new guys, a couple of new safeties. Just I guess how unfortunate I guess to have to put the 3 on IR, and then what's the challenge for the new guys to get up to speed?
Yeah, it's unfortunate. You had to put the 3 guys on IR. What they mean to the team, the way they've all worked, their roles, obviously different roles on the football team, different ages. That's always hard. And I think that the coaching staff the other day in the game on defense did an outstanding job of adjusting accordingly. When you lose 3 guys in the back end, that's happened to me one other time actually in Oakland, and I think it was 2015, but we actually lost in our guy, and then we had to put a receiver back there. But I think Denard did a great job of adjusting. Second series of the game, you lose 3 guys, you have to change what you have to do. And now it's just a matter of getting guys up to speed and figuring out, what's going to be the best combination. And we got a couple days obviously before we play, so we got it'll be a crash course for the new guys. Eric, we had drafted in Jacksonville, so I know a little bit about him back in a couple years ago that we drafted him there. So we'll just kind of learn about the guys as we go.
You drawn up to lose 3 safeties and a linebacker the week you face a Hall of Fame tight end. Just what is the emphasis going to be on having to slow him down when you're missing so many guys that would usually be tasked with?
Well, it's the next man up mentality. You always say that. I think this is a great opportunity for other guys to step up in different roles. I think KB stepped in and did a nice job during the game, and so it's just a matter of everyone doing their jobs. And the key thing is when you do lose a number of bodies, you start shuffling the deck. The key is going to be communication on the back end. Everyone be on the same page against a very talented football team that's got a ton of explosive players. It's not just Kelsey, but all the other players they have. And Gardner's, he's played plenty of football. So it's just we got to go out there and make sure everybody's on the same page and communicate on the back end with guys moving around.
With Minshew and the way he tends to get the ball out a lot faster than Mahomes, how does the way you attack the quarterback, the pass rush, how does that change against a guy like that as opposed to Mahomes?
Well, you're going to go into your game plan. Their scheme is what it is, and obviously there's a different quarterback playing. But Coach Reed and his staff is going to put their plan together, what they think is best for him at quarterback. But we've got to go out and execute the plan that Denard puts out there, and we got to get. You're going to say this: any team you're playing, you have to get after the quarterback. You got to stop the run. You got to eliminate explosive plays, things like that.
What was the attraction in the guard you picked up from the Browns, and tell us a little bit about him?
Well, to be I can't say I know a ton about him, to be honest with you. With everything that was going on yesterday, I haven't watched a lot of film on him. I think Mike could give you a lot more details on all that. But I know he's a younger player that, once Mike and them saw him out there, they claimed him. So we'll learn more about him as we go.
Mike, as much attention that is always on Patrick Mahomes, the Chiefs defense has quietly put together a pretty strong season. What's the challenge of having to go against that unit on Sunday?
But about the entire offense?
Yeah, no, the Chiefs defense.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's a very talented defense that, Spags does a phenomenal job with. He has, year after year, the entire time he's there, he's done a phenomenal job. And obviously, with 95, he's a game changer. And Chris is, wherever he lines up all over the place. You've got to account for him, number one. But I think the way the techniques of the corners and everything outside, getting press coverage, it's a challenge for the guys out there. You got to win at the line of scrimmage. They do a great job in their pressure packages. They play a number of different players, and that's what Spags has always done. If you have a jersey on game day, you're probably going to be out there somehow. But very talented, and they do a number of different things. So his, on a week-to-week basis, he's always changing things. You always got to be ready for corner pressures. There's so many different things that he does. You got to be ready to go, and a lot of movement inside.
Femi, Ali, and Bryce kind of do getting to the point where they are today, and I guess what's your hope for them as they start this return to play process?
Well, it's really just it's the next step in the process of getting back out on the field, and we'll take it one day at a time with the guys. They haven't been in a team setting. They've been working their tails off with the staff and everything. But it's just a matter of now of going out there and gradually working them back in, because they're all at different, it's different injuries, different things we're working on. So we'll just take it one day at a time, one period at a time. Some will be more involved in individual necessarily than team, and just kind of keep going and see where they're at.
Harden's always been an outspoken guy. In a tough season, how much does a guy maybe need to earn the right to be outspoken with his production? How do you feel maybe what he said about the lack of adjustments on Sunday in San Francisco?
That's been addressed. So it's one of the comments. He made the comment, and we've addressed it with him. And so it's what it is. And I think we'll keep that in house. We have those conversations. We have tough conversations. You've asked about that before, and things are said in the heat of the battle at times, that people speak up, and when we feel it's the right thing to do to go address it and sit down with the player and talk to him about it and go from there, we do that. And because we're all in this thing together, everyone has a hand in it, and I think that in the second half of the game, and I know Denard's addressed this too with you guys, is that you adjust accordingly, and you adjust in every game. And with the personnel change, when you lose 3 guys like that, you have to adjust accordingly. I think they did a nice job doing that. So, but it's been addressed in-house.
Overall, a guy like Arden, who tends to speak more freely.
Yeah.
Do you like having a personality like that in the locker room? Is it tougher to have a personality like that in a season like this?
Well, like I told you guys before, I want every player to be who they are, and I think there's a time and place, and there's a right way to say things, and we are all in this thing together. We're not into pointing fingers at anybody. We're all trying to go out there and win games. And the one thing I always tell the players, if you have an issue with something, go talk to your coach, go talk to your teammates, do that. And there's going to be some tough discussions from time to time, and you have plenty of those in every season, regardless of what your record is. But it's important for guys to be able to speak up, but there's a time and place for all that, and a right way to do it.
I get you did have 3 or 4 players go down.
Yep.
And that helped make the adjustments more difficult. But in those times where you didn't have the players go down and some things went, awry in the second half, like, do you feel you guys made the right adjustments, or is there things that you could have, done better? Like, do you feel it was like being out schemed or out executed?
Well, I think there's give them credit. That's a good football team. There's plenty of plays that they're going to make, whether it's a scheme that's going to come up every game. There's going to be some plays, and there's going to be plenty of other plays where you look at a third down play, and someone might slip at the top of a route, and there's a completion. So there's a number of reasons why things don't work. There's adjustments you have, and sometimes they just make a play. There's some tough plays, and it's a 50-50 ball. Sometimes they go up and make the play, and you don't. So and I've told you this all year long, there's different reasons, on every play of why things work and why they don't, and give them credit too. That's a good football team.
Of an emphasis is there to get a win at home out of these last 2?
It's critical, and it's we talked about that right after the game when you guys asked a question, and I know Cam mentioned something also. It's important to win at home, especially for our fans, and you always, when you look at your schedule, you always got to say you got to win at home. You have the advantage of playing at home, and you got to win home games, and we need to go out there and win a game, not just for this team, but for our fans and everybody else at home.
How much do you need to see a complete, so to speak, game from Cam in terms of his play, start to finish through a game, to be above board?
Not just Cam. I think our entire football team. You want to see put 4 good quarters together. I think each week there's something that you see growth of with Cam, and there's going to be some mistakes. There's going to be some missed throws, but you would love to see Cam go out there and play the way he wants to play for 60 minutes. But I'll say that about the entire team. In order for Cam to play that way, I think the rest of the offense, the rest of the team needs to play together. And the reason I say that is because, Jeff has the big sack fumble, and then what do? Van makes a big play. And the next thing you know, Jeff gets a touchdown. And it kind of, you feed off of one another. So I think if the entire team plays at a very high level for 60 minutes, it'll make Cam's job that much easier. You continue to run the ball the way we were running the ball. You protect it. You know, you don't turn the ball over. You don't give up sacks. His job's going to be easier. So I think it's not just putting it on Cam. It's putting on the rest of the football team to play at a high level to help him.
But as the leader of the team and as its quarterback, is he ready yet to spark that creativity or that feeding off each other?
Well, you say spark that. He makes a great throw to Van to make a big play, and then I don't know where him in '98. They must be off on the side when they made that little scramble drill. They must have worked on that on their own because they were on the same page, and that's a huge spark. Plays like that you've seen Cam make, that's who he is, and that's what you love about him, the competitor in him, and then having a great player like Jeff, just ad-libbing. And that's what, I said to the team this morning, it's not about plays, it's players. And that play is completely covered, and it's two great players making a great play. And that goes back to your initial comment about Cam. It's everybody else helping him be great on Sundays.
With so much responsibility being put on the shoulders of the younger players on this team, what are some of the things that you guys are doing behind the scenes to help them deal with that responsibility, shoulder the stress of learning how to be a pro while also playing as much as they are?
That's all part of coaching, is you're teaching the players, and I think the coaching staff has done a phenomenal job, not only with the younger players, but the other players. But with the younger player, we've been playing these guys for a long time now. So it's the key thing, you keep hearing coaches say when a younger player starts playing for the first time, it's like, okay, you're going to make some mistakes. That's football. That's life. You make mistakes, but don't make the same mistakes twice. If you're a DB and you're playing nickel, there's certain leverages you play with depending on what the scheme is and what the call is. And it's just a matter of understanding, okay, if you have outside leverage, stay out. You have help inside. And that's one of those things that you continue to coach the guys on, and don't get discouraged. You're going to make some mistakes. You're playing against some really good players. It's a matter of learning the game, learning how to play with your teammates and getting better every week. And I think the coaches have done a phenomenal job with that. And I think, and you guys, I think, would agree, a lot of the younger players have gotten better as the year gone on. And you talk about younger players, it's just unfortunate to see someone like Kevin go down because he was really playing well. And, the next 3 weeks would have been critical for him. But now, he's got to learn and just continue to stay in. And I know he will. He's got great leaders. LJ's been around the whole entire time since he went back. So we got a good veteran group. So it's not just the coaches, but I think it's the veteran players helping these young guys, learn the game and, teach them how to win and how to play better.
Can you look back and find some kind of switch flip or turning point between Jacksonville and Cleveland for the offensive line where something changed for them?
Yeah, committing to the run and running it 25 plus times, 35 times, things like that, of saying, hey, we are going to commit to the run, we're going to do it, and then actually doing it in the game. And I think.
You said that in other weeks and it didn't take. So
but then we finally ran him in the game, and that's, you've been saying, since I came up here the first time, I told you guys I want to run the football. And it's just the way the games have played out, the way the game was called, we didn't get those carries. And then going into Cleveland, knowing who we were playing, we said we got to neutralize the best player, and we have to run the ball with the way the weather was going to be, certain things. And listen, you have to play this way this week, and we did. And I think all 11 guys backed it up, and they did a phenomenal job, and it energized our football team the way we ran the game. We ran the ball in that game, and then we did the same thing last week. And I think it's you start to build an identity, for your football team, a toughness. You see the way the defense was on the sideline watching Tony Pollard last week, certain plays running down the sideline, the energy when you play a physical style of football. Not just on the front on defense, but on the offensive line, the offensive side of the ball. You see Tony's touchdown. We ran the trap play for him there, and you see him finish through 3 defenders. And you always talk about running the ball in when you get inside the 10-yard line. But it's not just Tony Pollard in the end zone. There's 3 offensive linemen in the end zone with them finishing blocks. And that's kind of a mentality, a mindset that you want your football team to have. So I couldn't be happier, not just for the guys up front, for Tony, but for our football team, the way we run the football the past couple weeks, because we got a little personality, a little dirty to you.
Came out, were you looking forward to, matching up against Mahomes, and are you a little bummed that he's not going to be there Sunday?
Yeah, especially with an injury like that. That's something that you don't wish upon no person. Especially, what he's proven in the league since he's been here. It's a matchup that I think every team will look forward to, going against a team like this who've been to multiple Super Bowls in a row, been to AFC Championship. So it's a big game for us for sure. We're trying to go out there and try to find a way to win.
That compared your play style to Patrick's in the draft process. Do you see similarities? What are the things that maybe you see that you guys do similarly?
I would say the scramble drill, the finesse in the pocket, and then I think I just got to continue to find ways to play the game how I see the game as well. But it's all right to have your name mentioned up there with someone who's won a couple Super Bowls. You get a chance to go against his team this week.
Cam, with this scramble drill you just mentioned, do you think there's an adjustment period or a learning curve for receivers to get on the same page with what you like to do, or the way you might handle a scramble and maybe create a secondary or tertiary route out of it?
Yeah, I think that's one of the hardest timings that you can get with a receiver, just because they truly have to know what you're thinking at that time. And half our receiver core, they know what we think, especially the ones who's been here throughout the whole season. And the biggest thing is really finding space, like those guys continue to do. We got to continue to make those plays.
As you look back on this year, how do you feel you've handled the pressure of being the number one pick and being the guy that the franchise's hands is put into your hands?
I just wake up and go about my business, honestly. I don't really see no pressure into it. I get to do something every day that I like to do. But I'm always remember the hard times that I went through my rookie year. I remember the good plays that I made in my rookie year. I remember, how many reporters came to, report the team one year. And I remember the next couple of years, when there's a lot more reporters out here, trying to get footage on it. So you just got to continue to take it day by day in the process. We continue to, feed into each other as the locker room, continue to, give emphasis on the coaching staff, what we're looking for ahead. And, we're ready to, turn it back around.
What if you had to pick one low moment of this year and one high moment? What would you say those are?
Low moment, I would say from a play, I would say probably Vegas game, fumble, had Chin wide open, missed him on the touchdown that, could have helped him. And then I would say high moment, just, finding, getting that first win in Arizona with the guys going down 2-minute drill, and, Joey Slye ending it off.
What do you think the hardest thing has been, the hardest adjustment has been for you, and how have you maybe managed to overcome that?
So the hardest adjustment, I would say not trying to manipulate the pocket as much as I want to, more kind of feeling the pocket, because every game it changes. No matter they got a all-pro edge rusher or just a real good edge rusher, the pocket always changes each and every game. So I think that was the biggest thing that, I just continue to adjust to, as games go by.
Do you feel like you've had your signature game yet where you played exactly the way you want to play? And if so, what game do you feel like it was? And if not, why do you feel like it hasn't happened yet?
I don't think I'll ever have a signature game in my career, honestly. Every game there's going to be some bad tape, whether it's one player, two players for myself or another teammate. So I don't really, try to chase having a perfect game. I try to chase just, having a good play every play. Because in the day, I'm going to have a bad play. I'm going to throw another interception. I'm going to fumble the ball again at some point in my career. So the more I continue to stress in myself, limit the little bad plays and just continue to build on what I already know, what I'm good at, and then continue to put the ball in space to my playmakers. I think that'll serve me better in the long term.
Knowing how close you are to finding out who the next coach is, knowing how big that guy and his staff is going to be for you. Is it difficult at all not to be a little bit anxious about finding out who that is?
It's not difficult. I think the coach who's gonna come in and have the interview process with the couple coaches that we do, interview. I think they're gonna come in all with the right attitude that we want to win. They're coming in to a place who's gonna be behind them, the guys in the locker room. I'm gonna be all in on this head coach, and I'm gonna continue to do what I need to do, for my teammates to, help put myself in a good situation and those guys.
How much would you like to be in on the not hiring the guy, but as far as, meeting all the candidates that they bring in and kind of seeing what they have in mind maybe for you?
I want to meet all of them. Every coach who's going to get the opportunity to come here, I want to meet them, have conversations throughout the whole process with them, because that's someone that I'm going to be here with, for that time. So we got to just continue to, me being around and being open to no matter whoever we try to hire. Because I know at the end of the day, who we do hire is going to be the right fit for us. Whether it's a defensive person or offensive person, they're going to make sure that every person, in the right place and make sure that every person is set up for success.
Have you had conversations already with Mike and Chad about wanting to be involved with this, or maybe what some of the qualities you might want?
Yeah, I've had conversations with them about wanting to be involved. They know how much I want to be involved. And then especially just not even with the scheme part of it, just, as the head coach, who he is on an everyday basis. And then we'll get into, the scheme, what, I know I'm good at, what I want to do, what he thinks, will also help me.
3 games left in the regular season. Obviously, the focus is winning. Aside from that, what are you trying to hone in on or really trying to focus on these next 3 games?
I'm really trying to hone in on the offense, us taking 6 plays that's bad and having that cut down to 1. And I think that will allow us to, continuously, be productive, running the ball well, throwing the ball well. And I think that will just continue to springboard us into the offseason to next year, being, a production-based offense.
Clicked for you in the run game these last two games for you guys?
I just think we emphasize, the little things, especially up front, straining blocks. And that's something that, a lot of people know just the pain those guys go through on the week out basis. For them to continuously fight like they do, that's why we're able to get it off the ground. I think TP and Tajay, they see it real well. The coaches, I think the past couple weeks did an unbelievable job in the run scheme, doing what the players are good at and what we want to do. And so, we're going to keep on rolling from there, keep on handing it off.
With so many quarterbacks going down like Mahomes throughout the season, how much pride do you take in the fact that, so far you've been able to take every snap?
I'm blessed. And, I don't take it for granted every time, I step on the field. I know it could be my last snap. So, I try to just play with a carelessness, to you never know when it's going to be your last snap. So no matter how good the play is, no matter how bad the play is, you always got to play the next play. And I just take it as a learning experience. It's going to be highs and lows throughout this whole season, as I already are. And then just continue to try and get better every day.
Cam, you haven't had a chance to walk off the home field yet with a win. How much are you looking forward to having a chance now with 2 more games left this season to try to get at least 1?
That's the plan, to win both of those at the crib, to go into next year with a little home game winning streak. And that's what, our fans, they need to see. They need to see us winning at home. We need to make our, home atmosphere one of the best in the NFL. We get a chance to go do that on Sunday, against a good team.
And what do you think works so well with the O-line, but really everybody else in the backfield, yourself included, in your decision-making to come out of that game without a sack?
I think it just spoke to everybody, the way we have to play to be efficient, from the O-line, straining blocks and pass protection specifically. The running backs picking up protections. The past couple weeks they've done real good with that. Then myself just continue to play on time, check it down early if I have to, take the shot if I need it or got it. And then just really I would say the best part is just the more we can continue to, run the ball efficiently. It's been helping us, and then play action off of it.